been a while, hasn't it? I've just been spending my time basically working and trying to catch up on journals and trying not to be ill. So I thought we could go through January in my media journal. So I am actually caught up on this. Mostly it's like the second week in June at the minute, so we will. But basically what I've been doing is just marking in when I've finished something. So you can see I finished 3 books. Obviously it doesn't count when I've finished 2 of the same thing in one day, but yeah. This is up to date till the end of May. But basically I'm just colouring it in based on how many pages I've read and how many episodes of a TV show that I've watched. Q1, so we'll ignore these for now. So I just listed my faves. So my favourite book was Brimstone, my favourite TV show was Finding Her Edge, and my favourite movie that I watched was Ratatouille. This is for reading, watching anything, so like TV or movie, and my Duolingo. 29th, I missed. Oops, had to use a streak freeze. Read 50 books. I read 3 in January. Finished 6 arcs, 0, and finished 3 crochets. Again, I've been ill, so don't expect too much. This is my Wordle, which is not up to date, but I can just fill them in from the app. Then we've got January. So these are my 4 January hopefuls. So we've got 2 books, Soulbound and Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. Then we've got a movie, which was People We Meet on Vacation, and then we've got a TV show, which was season 4 of Bridgerton. Then on this, it's kind of like a timeline of when I watched or read things. So you can see on The Rookie season 1, from the 1st every day to the 9th. Holiday Ever After is a book, was the 1st and 2nd, Check and Mate, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and all along. So it's like a Gantt chart type thing. It just goes down. Love Island All Stars, just whee. And then this is my sort of anticipated releases. So we've got it the same colour scheme as this-ish, where book is purple, movie is pink, and TV show is blue. So you can see TV show, we've got The Night Manager and Runaway, His and Hers, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Steel, and Bridgerton. Spoiler alert, I have not watched all of these yet. And then we've got books, Swan's Daughter, Avowing Vengeance, The Elsewhere Express, Spark of Fire and Fate, and Soulbound, and King of Beasts. Again, spoiler alert, I've not actually read any of them. And then movies, we've got People We Meet on Vacation and Mercy. And then this is week 1. So obviously we had some overlap. So I just filled in this and this for that, but then for like this bit I've just ignored. Did I ignore it? No, I didn't ignore it because I finished Emily in Paris then, and I put that as my favourite. But anyway, so what I do here is basically do like a little cover writing of what I read the most on that day, page wise, and then again what I watched the most on that day. So obviously movies most of the time take precedence because they're nearly 2 hours long, and sometimes I do not binge things for too long. Then we just do like a little stats thing at the bottom. So we've got favourite book of the week, favourite show or movie of the week, favourite character of the week, which was Steve the Hare Harrington, and then stats. So we've got books finished versus TV or movies finished. So I finished 1 book and 2 TV or movies, which I think was Stranger Things and Ratatouille. Average rating for the things that have been finished, and then genres, so romance, fantasy, sci-fi and children's. And then when I finish something, I'm doing like a spread on it, so the spreads do not match up with the weeks, because some weeks I have not finished much, and other weeks I've finished too much. So we've got Stranger Things. This was my Stranger Things thread, and I've done it as a double, which I finished on the 1st of January, and I give it 4 stars. I didn't like the ending. I just thought there was like so many continuity errors and nothing made sense. And I was totally in the camp that was convinced there was going to be a secret episode that was going to get released. And I was very disappointed it wasn't. We've got Ratatouille, which I finished on the 3rd, and I'll give that 5 stars because obviously love that movie. Check and Mate, I finished on the 4th of January. Right. I really love this spread. I don't know if it's because of like the greeny colours or it just looks cute. I give that 5 stars. I think it wasn't like 10 out of 10, but it might have been like up there type thing. So that's the 3 things that I finished then. So then, yeah, we'll do it like this. Then week 2, so I've been reading a lot of Brimstone, which I was enjoying, so I put that as my favourite book. Favourite show was The Rookie, and favourite character was Carrie Swift. Oh, I forgot. So up here I'm just writing how many pages I read collectively, because I usually read more than one thing or watch or whatever at the same time. So you can see here on Tuesday I watched The Rookie and I watched Runaway. I also read Brimstone and I was reading The Wild Card. I am a mood reader and I get bored. I literally only finished The Rookie this week, which I gave a 4, and I put drama, but I should have put down probably what all the other genres that I was. So we've got thriller, romance, Brimstone's romantasy, and the dark shade of magic is fantasy. And then we go back over, and here's the page for The Rookie, which I finished on the 9th for season 1. And I literally started watching it for Nathan Fillion, but I am staying for Tim Bradford. There is no explanation needed. And then we'll skip those pages to go to week 3. So I was reading The Wild Card, Brigands and Bread Knives for a little bit, and then back to The Wild Card. I was watching Rookie season 2, Love Island. I think started because I had to get pushed back. We watched People We Meet on Vacation on Saturday, and I watched a bit of Masked Singer the weekend. My favourite book was The Wild Card. Favourite movie, I really enjoyed this, and then my favourite character was Alex. So I finished Runaway and People We Meet on Vacation. Average was 3.75, and then there's the genres. So we can go back, and here's Runaway, which I finished on the 15th of January. And I've wrote, I won't lie, I didn't know what was going on for half of this, and didn't know who was who. I literally focused on this so much as well, and I was just like, what is going on? for like half of this, but that was just my brain at the time. And then we've got my spread for People We Meet on Vacation, which I finished on the 17th of January. And I haven't read the book, which... Oh, wait, I forgot to say Runaway. What did I give it? 3.5. I haven't read the book, which I'm disappointed in myself. But I think it's Emily Henry. And I think I've read one of hers, and I was a bit like, Anyway, I absolutely love these two. I think, obviously I don't know the book, but I think these two are such good actors. She was so like energetic, and he was like the calm that brings her down, and obviously I had a lot to say about it because I managed to do 2 pages of writing. I think the only thing that really really bugged me is when it's just miscommunication, like constantly. Yeah, the will they won't they kind of annoys me sometimes. Ooh. Then we've got week 4. So again, I'm still reading Brigands and Bread Knives. Picked up Problematic Summer Romance for I think just those 2 days. And I do get back to it eventually. And then I've got a bit of Brimstone as well. I went over because I was just in the middle of too much. And yeah, I only finished 3 things. So I was reading, I think my favourite this week was Problematic Summer Romance. My favourite show was Finding Our Edge, and then my favourite character was Tim Bradford. Yeah. So I finished 1 book, which was Brigands and Bread Knives, and I finished 2 shows, which were, I think it was The Rookie and what else did I finish? Oh, and The Traitors. We binged that. So the average rating was 4. I think, did everything get a 4? No, I think I've had a 4, a 3.5 and a 4.5. I was getting a bit bored of The Rookie at this point. So then we can go back, and there's The Rookie season 2, which I finished on the 19th. I give that 3.5 stars. Sorry, Rookie. I think I was just like, there's so much drama that's not even happening. With like, I'm literally watching a cop show and there's barely any cop drama. It's all just like personal drama. I think I was just a bit like, yeah, let's just remember that in January I was ill, and very tired. That's going to be my excuse. I was enjoying the show. I just think I was just like, I can't be bothered. I gave this. Sorry. Yawn. I gave this 4 stars. I think I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first book, but it was still like a nice little cozy fantasy. I finished on the 20th of January, and then I finished The Traitors, and I took up too much space here, and then I started running out of space, so it's very messy. But I finished that on the 23rd of January, and I gave that 4.5 stars because it was so funny. Yeah, we really enjoyed this, despite watching it late. Didn't get any spoilers. Should we go through? And then week 5, which I think is mostly January, and is mostly The Wild Card, which was my favourite book, which is shocking because that was basically what I was reading the whole time. Bridgerton. Oh yeah, I decided to start Bridgerton from season 1 in anticipation for season 4. And then my favourite was The Duke of Hastings. I finished 1 book and 2 shows / movies, which I think was Brimstone, His and Hers, and Finding Her Edge. Average rating was 4. And then there's the genres. And then we can go back over. So there's my Brimstone. 4 stars. I love Carrion. I probably had more to say about Brimstone. I don't know if it's because I really loved the first one that this one felt like slightly disappointing. I still enjoyed it, it just wasn't as great. So I finished that on the 26th of January, and I loved these pictures too much that I couldn't not include them. His and Hers I finished on the 28th of January. This was all over the place. I actually really enjoyed it. So I gave it 4 stars, and I really enjoyed the twist, but it also didn't make much sense to me. But it was still enjoyable. And then Finding Their Edge I finished on the 30th of January, and I think her family just pissed me off half the time. It was mostly her older sister. So her older sister is the one that was like the professional ice skater, but then something happens, she breaks something, and the second child takes over as being the front and centre, and she was so jealous, it was friggin' annoying, because she was just really nice, and then there was like a love triangle between these two, even though it was barely a triangle. Yeah. And then we've got my January review page. So this is what I finished. So I finished 3 books, 7 TV shows and 2 movies. Then we've got the genres, which TV and movie are in blue and books are in pink. So you can see books have 1 fantasy, 1 romance, 1 romantasy, and then bits of others. So the most is 2 dramas, which I think was both The Rookie, and 2 thrillers, which was His and Hers and Runaway, I think. And then we've got ratings, so I've split these between movie, TV and book. So movie is like that pale, book is the, I think it's meant to be purple but it looks kind of pink, and then this is blue. This is blue, yeah, we know this is blue. This is TV. So I was a 4-star whore and give 7 things 4 stars. Book format, I read 1 physical and 2 from the library. And then TV, movie, I didn't know what to call, so I just call it format, but whatever. So 4 Netflix, 3 Disney, 1 Sky and 1 on BBC. And then my favourites, this was going to be favourite books, but I read 3 books. So now this stack is and forever will be favourites in general. So I basically looked at what my ratings for everything were and then put them in order of highest to 5th highest. So we've got Ratatouille at top, then we've got The Traitors, Check and Mate, People We Meet on Vacation, and then Brimstone. And then that would lead us into February. So then if we go to the back, we've got my yearly stats. So for books, I read none on Kindle Unlimited or Audible, no ebooks that I already owned, 2 from Libby and 1 physical, with a total of 3, which was okay. So the 3 books is not 2,000 pages. The 2,000 pages is what I've actually read for the whole month. So do you know how we go back and we can see all this? It's basically from, we'll ignore them 3, from these, and then all these basically just added up to see how many pages I've read in the month rather than based on the books. TV episodes, I watched 107 and finished 7 seasons of something. I watched 2 movies with a total combined time of 3 hours and 47. And then for ratings, I gave 1 5 stars, 9 between 4 and 4.75, 2 3 to 3.75, and then I give none the lowest stars, and I did DNF with a total of 12 things finished. And then we've got bookshelves. I finished 3, so I just called in 3 based on January. Book Battle, Check and Mate was my favourite book, which I'm hoping corresponds to my stats. Yeah, Check and Mate's top. So then Ratatouille should be my favourite movie and Traitors should be my favourite show, but we'll see. Traitors and Ratatouille. Pretty sure at the front I wrote Brimstone and it shouldn't be Brimstone, it should be... Yeah, see, that should be Check and Mate. And that should be the Traitors. I am not consistent. I might change that when I get to it. Anyway, there's my TV show battle, movie battle. Didn't read any book clubs. None of that yet. I'm just filling out the A to Z, so I can't even tell you what I'd done then. Beat the backlog, I don't think I did any of them. I think that's it for January. So that is my media journal, and I will hopefully record February soon. So thanks for watching. Bye.